Hello, it's Bethany, and I am a lower elementary Montessori teacher, and today I'm going to be talking about what I present next for word problems, graphs, and extra concepts. If you have not seen the other videos in this series, I have one for numeration, time money measurement, and geometry. So what we have here are word problems, graphs, and extra concepts, and I have created um, a scope and sequence and maps that tell you the actual sequence in which to teach these things. If you watch my other videos, you've already heard this and hopefully have bought the scope and sequence and maps. If not, you should, and I will link them below. So we have maps that have the total math map, which include all the ones that I keep talking about here. And then a counting map, which is like a pre-counting map. So we're just working on numbers here. And then all the language maps for writing, word study, grammar, and then a words map, which is like the blends, the vowel blends, and then just short vowel words. All the maps are editable. You can go ahead and change them up how you like, although the feedback I have gotten back is that they're very good and follow a good sequence for everything. And that's why I don't have a cultural map yet, but I'm in the process of making one. It's only that the lots of people do cultural a lot of different ways, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways. But there is cultural in the scope and sequence list here. And all of these maps also comes as lists. So if you don't want to give the students these maps, you can give them a list. And if you don't want to give them either and you just want them for yourself, then you could use them like that as well. I do a mixture of both. So, um, we're going to start with first grade word problems, graphs, and extra concepts. So we start with the addition finger charts and tally marks. Now you might be thinking, well, that's numeration. Well, in my mind, it is just, extra concepts that they could do because yes, it is numeration, but also some kids don't need to see every single finger chart. So it's on the maps. Don't get me wrong. All these are on the maps, but when they could see them and everything. But yes, and I put tally marks there. I think I put them in the numeration one, but just in case I have forgotten, then there's the tally marks. And then the subtraction finger charts. Now, obviously, you're not showing these back to back. It's when they're ready for subtraction. But a lot of kids that come in from being in an early childhood classroom have done the subtraction and addition finger charts, hopefully. And like that includes the bingo boards and everything like that as well. Then skip counting is a big one. Of course, they could do it with the chains. They could do it with just the beads. Estimating and scales. I did teach early childhood for a singular year, and every day I would fill up a little jar with an amount of something to have them like practice their estimating skills. But before that, when I did the lower elementary, we didn't really practice estimating too much besides like once a year. And now I try to do it a little bit more so then they can keep up the estimating, just like with tally marks. That's one thing they're definitely like, oh, we did that in the early childhood or in their kindergarten class. So that, and then scales is a very fun one. It's just measuring time. Now that might have also been on the measurement map, but we'll see. Bar graphs and pictographs are the two graphs I like to do in first grade. Patterns, this could be geometric shapes, it could be number patterns, lots of different patterns like fill in the blank patterns where there's a missing one in the middle too, addition word problems, and then subtraction word problems, and then Roman numerals. But sometimes we do the Roman numerals when we do the math grade lesson there at the beginning of the year or somewhat in the beginning, but then we always visit them again in the spring. This is the second grade one. You will notice it looks similar. It just says multiplication finger charts and boards, as in like the bead board and everything. Now, again, in the actual map, it gives you a clear thing. This is just like an overview of what I teach when. Not what I teach when, but what I teach in which grade. The commutative property and addition, that's with the beads. There's a lot of bead layout for addition and everything, but I just know by then they have like a strong understanding of addition. Addition with parentheses, the Pythagoras board for multiplication, estimating and scales again, same thing. Infinity Street, this is a fun one. Lots After talking to many Montessorians, lots of people got this in their training. I did not, but I made my own Infinity Street, but there's multiple different ones you could use. It's just reading numbers with the beads and like the green, blue, and red patterns. It's a lot of fun. And then here I'll add in circle graphs, tables, plot data, and as well as the bar graphs and pictographs. Um, and also line graphs could be in there too. And then addition, subtraction, and multiplication word problems. Now, And also money word problems, but I probably put that with the money one as well, and then Roman numerals. And then for the last one, it's third grade. So this is like when it's time to say, okay, what extra concepts do we really need to do? Multiplication finger charts again, division ones. Now this is division. I like to teach, I don't know if I said this in the numeration one, but I like to teach division in starting in October. So by then they should be on division if they haven't been taught it already. The fact families for division and multiplication, cubes of numbers or like squares and cubes of numbers is a lot of fun. Adding and subtracting decimals, mostly with money. Some kids also get to multiplying decimals. And then again, Affinity Street, the same types of bar graphs, pictographs, different things, answering more in-depth questions where they have to like analyze a graph. And then they get addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division word problems, and then the Roman numerals. So this is just like a catch-all category for everything else. And since there's four of these concepts, again, I like to teach one. I would love them to do at least one for each a week. And then on Friday they can pick, but they could also pick like it's, hey, you didn't do enumeration work. Do you want to do one you've already done before type of thing? That's an easy way to get them to practice their like maybe a word problem. Oh, I see you haven't done word problems this week or last week, but that could also mean they did a graph last week. So with like even the time money measurement one, it's like a 3 week rotation. So I know that they're seeing it. And then like word problems, graphs, and extra concepts could also be that same thing. So thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and click down below at the link to see my scope and sequence. How exciting! I'm excited for it. I mean, I've been for years because I use it in my classroom. That's like the number one thing I use to keep track of everything. And it's just not only that, but to know what to present next. Like a kid's like, oh, I need a math presentation. I'm like, okay, let me go check your list to see where you're at, you know? So yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.